We should be dancing. Yeah, we should be dancing. Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Show. This week we have the wonderful Vendy. Vendy Steinberga is so great at getting a message across. She says it simply. She's passionate about it. She's nice and handsy, which if you've seen any videos I've ever done, you know this guy likes. Check out Vendy's LinkedIn because she gives such just simple, easy to do, valuable tips, which you can literally implement. I've done it in the past. I've looked at it. I've seen some she's posted and been like, hey, I can make my profile better by just implementing that right now. So if you take nothing away from this episode, the one thing you have to do, go and follow Vendy, check out our content, learn a little something, and send me a message just when you see how well it's done. But in the meantime, if you don't want to do that, you can hear it straight from the horse's mouth right here in The Daily Show. Enjoy. And we are live. Welcome back to another episode of The Daily Show. Each week we sit down with people all over the world and we talk about business, what inspires people, sales, LinkedIn, marketing, and anything else that comes to mind. Now, I know a lot of you are getting back to the office. I know that more and more of you are trying to kind of lean towards social, maybe during lockdown, not something you focused on, but you're back, you're in your office and you're trying to get back on it. Now, thankfully, this week we have a guest who I follow for the answers, okay? So if you're not following Vendy already, you should. But this week we have the wonderful, the amazing, the myth, the legend, Miss Vendy Steinberga.
Hi guys, so nice to be on. Thank you for the introduction, Jay. Loved it.
I try my best. And also I'm trying not to be too out of breath because Vendy and I were dancing hard before the show started.
We're super high energy people, so welcome everyone.
I know, I'm just so out of shape. I'm sat here like, so Vendy, for those people out there who haven't found you, tell the audience a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so I am a LinkedIn coach and a money mindset coach. So I really help business owners generate inbound leads on LinkedIn with ease. So no cold selling, none of the stuff we don't like to do, no cold calls, just like creating a bit of content, relaxing, and then just enjoying our life. That's what we do.
I love it so much. And we were talking before the show a little bit about money mindset. So talk to me about that. What do you mean by money mindset?
It's really, I think, when it comes to service-based businesses, it's really charging almost your worth and getting comfortable with charging more and more and more consistently, because we often get stuck in like a certain bracket that we charge, or we like look at the industry average, right? And you might like deduct your rates based on that. But like, I think we all have like money blocks. So, you know, like when you're charging based on someone else, you're taking on their money blocks. And like, it doesn't matter that someone's charging, I don't know, 200 or 2,000 for that service. If you want to 10x that, you can do that. And that means you need less clients in a month. So then you can just live your life, get 1, 2, 3 clients a month, and then just enjoy the rest of your time. So yeah, that's what I mean with money mindset. Get comfortable with charging what you want to charge. Don't be scared.
And how do you get past the fear? Because I know it's something that us as a business, me and Tony were laughing actually the other day because a client's come back to us and said, hey, how about this event thing? And we're talking about, tens of thousands of pounds for this thing. Whereas 5 years ago, they used to come to us, and I remember a job we did for £300, and it was for a whole night where we were doing all of the production. And I remember me and Tony being like, high five, it's only one night. We're making like £300, man. Yeah, big time, right? And we were so excited. And we were driving home yesterday and we were just saying to each other, like, we wouldn't get out of bed for that now. But I think for us, that money mindset has been a slow burn. And every year we tend to like reassess and say, okay, well, this is the larger clients we got in that year. That's actually probably the price bracket now. But we still tend to have those legacy clients on who are paying less essentially, or paying less than the new normal. So how do you get people to get over that fear of like losing clients because they're going to charge too much suddenly?
Truth is, you will lose clients, but you're going to get way better ones instead, right? Because it is possible you have existing clients who can't afford you, and that's okay. Just you have to give them time to adapt to your new rates if they're ready, and if not, you kind of energetically. So I'm a woo-woo girl, so I'm going to use that word a lot. Have to let go of that. And I think I just been on my own journey for the last couple of months, and I try what I do is I increase the investment for my bootcamp with every 2 to 3 clients I take on. Wow. So not every year. So it's probably going to be pretty much on a monthly basis. just because I think as you invest in yourself, as you invest in your business and stuff, you grow as a business. And then that next client gets a better version of you and you can serve them better. So, but again, it's a journey to get to that place. It's like I'm a LinkedIn coach. I spend 80% of my time focusing on the mind, talking to my superstars or my students about mindset. And it's just like brainwashing or brain wiring, go wire your brain to where you want to go. And because the tactics are easy, LinkedIn tactics are easy, sales is easy. It's the mind that holds us back. So it's kind of breaking through that, and it's a whole thing.
I've always thought, because I've always been very much on the sales side. I've had to do a million cold calls in my career and smile while you dial, and they take your chair away at 10:30 if you haven't got a sale and all that kind of thing. I did all that for many, many years, and now I make like 15, maybe cold calls. I say cold calls, but I make probably like 15 phone calls to new business a month, maybe, because everything I'm doing is kind of qualified already, and I've got that. But personally, I've always thought there's a big divide with people where they're afraid to talk about money. And I think it's crazy.
We do be talking about money.
I love it. Right? But I think it's such a weird thing, because people, like, I know that it's an awkward subject to bring up to your friends, right? Not necessarily we're all sitting at home being like, hey, I make this much money, because that's not how we work at. But in business, we're all here because of the money, right? Yes, we want to do what we love, but like ultimately, if what we're doing, what we love, pays us £3 a day, we're going to go and do something that gives us the money. So I've always thought it's okay to talk about that in conversations. And we've literally gone through probably every year what you're saying. We've lost clients, and we've lost clients that we really like that are really good people to work with. But we've managed to leave on good terms by saying, like, we are at this stage. And I remember actually one client coming back to us and being like, so can I have the beanbag pricing? And I was like, what? He's like, remember when you were an agency and you guys were all sat on beanbags and like, you just started? Can I get that pricing when I first started working? It was such a good ask. I was like, of course you can. You can have that for one more year, right? And I think the really beautiful thing about this money mindset that you're talking about is that when you know all of your clients are paying your current worth, not your worth from 6 months ago, a month ago, 2 years ago, you can give them the service that they purchased. And if someone's paying £100, they should get the best thing possible. If they're paying £1 million, they should get the best thing possible. Whereas if you're in a position where you can no longer deliver the best thing possible for £100 because you've got a bunch of £1 million clients, the right thing to do is to say, hey, this money's a problem. I can't deliver what you want because you can't afford it. And that's okay. It's okay.
I actually love that point, because I think since I had a conversation with my accountant about this, and that's what he saw in the industry, that there are so many small businesses that get neglected because everyone's spending most of their time dealing with £1 million business or £10 million businesses, right? And anyone who's a 6-figure business owner or 5-figure business owner, they don't even get any attention, because they don't have time for you, even though you're their client. So it makes sense that you find your market, you focus on it, and you give them all attention. So exactly what you're saying. But if you have to, it's a fear mentality. We're all at some point scared. Like, I think basically anytime you're going to try to raise your price, you're going to go through the thing where you're going to feel like, oh, no one's going to pay this every single time. It doesn't matter how much mindset work you do. Like, I can, from personal experience, like every time you do, like I do it, it's like you're like the same fear come up. And as soon as you do it, you're like, okay, well, now this is what I'm worth. And like, there's no way I'm going to charge any less. But it's like going through, hitting through that wall. And it's also that you might get different caliber of people to enjoy working with. Like for me, it's very important that, again, we all go through the stage of growing your business, and we all just start off at the beginning where we have a zero budget for anything, and you have to watch YouTube videos, and you just like DIY everything, and that's okay.
That's absolutely fine, yeah.
Exactly. And there are people who can serve that. There are LinkedIn courses for £10. There really are. Like, just like go and find them, right? But then there are people who are further along in their business, and they have proven their offer, they know who their clients are, and they're like, okay, I'm ready to kind of grow my brand. I want to get to the next level. And they want to invest in someone who can take them there, like an expert. They don't want to just watch an online course on its own, or like typically, as I raise my prices, people often say that, like, if you were charging any less, I wouldn't be buying this.
Now that's the real point. How often I've gone back to clients, and maybe existing clients, they're paying this much. Great, they paid that much. It was a really good deal when they had it, and now they've been with us for a year. We've employed more people, new offices, staff. Our prices have gone up, like our expenditure. I've gone back to them and said, I'm very sorry, but this will be the price. and immediately had a response to be like, that's fine. I totally understand. You guys do a phenomenal service. I was getting an absolute deal. I thought you'd come back 6 months ago, and you're like, fuck it. But you actually get appreciation from it. And I found actually that as the prices got up to where we are now, it now leads into larger businesses who will look at us, even though we would have literally given a great service and the same service 2 years ago for a third of the price. Now that we're charging more, these businesses are like, oh, you must be legitimate then.
Yeah, it's a perception. It's crazy, but I get it all the time, but it's for everyone. And it is for you to figure out who do you want to be working with, right? Because you can always assume like the biggest corporates, for example, will have potentially the biggest budgets. Not that like individual solopreneurs wouldn't, but like maybe generalizing massively.
Yes, absolutely.
And then you decide like, is this who I'm trying to go for? Is this my new client? And if they are, you cannot charge like, I don't know, $2,000 for like, I don't know, something like it's like their consulting fees, like for most of their consultants, I'm sure they have plenty, are crazy.
Sure.
So you just have to, if you're going to charge a small amount, they're going to be like, you must not know what you're talking about. So it just like, it goes with the territory. But again, even if your industry is charging an X amount and you want to charge more, you charge more. Like try.
And like for us, for instance, if we went by the industry standard, we would go bankrupt, because in our industry, 70% plus of the people making video are one-man bands who are shooter, editor, producer, the whole thing all on their own. They can live for 25, 30 grand a year. Yeah. So all of their prices can be tiny. Like I cannot deliver that. I have a videographer, an editor, and a producer, on that same project. But it also means that we're able to go for kind of slightly bigger things.